All right, I'm in the 2022 Easter tournament. I'm in Tuesday's qualifying round in the rookie division. I'm in my practice account, so My goal is to qualify today, but if I don't get it qualified today, then that's not the end of the world. But I want to go through my notes one more time, I, and then I'll play my. Let's see if I can hook up with Dunner tomorrow when he gets off work, and maybe we'll play a qualifying round. Let me get my calculator rolling here, and I am ready to roll. So hole number one, if I have this correct, Centauri Harbor. Now with a 5 power ball yesterday, and a little bit of, I was using one of those albatross balls, so it had the extra 2 topspin. I was able to, with the little bit of tailwind that we're getting here. See if I can grab my pen. The little bit of tailwind that we're getting, I was able to actually get a bounce up on the top, hit into the rough, and roll forward, and I ended up right out here and had a short little chip for eagle. So it is possible. And in the second that I touched this rough, it was definitely not going to stay in the rough. It was definitely going to bleed out into the green. So if you can make it that far, it does work. And I don't have any 5 power balls. So I think that 4-4-4 is the best that I can do. That's the best that I can do. So I do have a snow globe. I only have 2 of those, and this is a practice account, and there's a hole, and there's several holes now in the game that is the ball that you need. Here we go. Here we go. Just getting out on the course and gonna play it. I have no idea what to do on the second shot because I've taken that shot once and went for it and made it. So I have no idea. And the wind's blowing from the left to the right, not the right to the left. I got that wrong, but that's about the right angle. Apox 6 and a Kingmaker. See if they can get over where they want to get. If they get a landing right there, I think they're good. Good to go. Big bounce. In the rough. Shouldn't be too bad from there, though. You're way the hell uphill, though. Switch to my number 1 bag. I'm going to let that wind. It's about 1 ring. I'm going to take 1 ring off. Put the forward power back in. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. And I did that without my perfect glasses on. I'm going to put my Golf Clash glasses on. See if I catch the... Oh, it didn't quite make it. You got to ride the edge out there, and the farther you go to the left, the farther the shot has to go before it clears. And there's a fine line between, if you're in the narrow spot, which is to the right of me, shit, I had probably 20 yards. If I'd hit to the right, like 1 ring to the right instead of perfect, I would have caught it where that bounce would have been in the fairway and lost quite a bit of distance. Arrgh. And I have no idea if there's from where we're shooting at, we're way the hell downhill. So elevation, there should be an elevation adjustment, but the wind is blowing almost absolutely pure tailwind. Let's see if I have a better look at it than my opponent. Steep little hill right there. Steep. I have a Hornet in this account. Here's Max. Here's Min. I'm at about... I'm eking towards Min Club. Just about 2 per ring. So a ring and a half. I want to see where that puts me. That's about right. Oh, fuck, and I hit it great to the left. Ah. Oh. Perfect. In the hole. Great to the left. Great to the left. Minimum short iron is a thing of beauty. If you can hit it perfect. What the hell was I thinking? I think I had time for it to go by. I really want to hit from the right to the left today. Here we go. All right, hole number 1 was a great opportunity to pick up an eagle, and that did not happen. Anytime you're on a par 4, these par 4s are best opportunities. Nothing wrong with hole-in-ones on par 3s, but some par 3s can be dangerous, and there are some dangerous par 3s in here depending on how you want to play them. But par 4s consistently, game-wide, course to course, are always the best, most consistent way to get to pick up shots. Not getting it done. Hole number 2. All right, on hole number 2, my notes say rocket, nav. Try a 2 power ball, and I was playing in my 77 account with a 2 power ball, so I could use a turkey, use a low wind ball, 2 less than max backspin. Run guide through the hole, so I'm not sure if the backspin stuff is right. Plus 30%. 1.3 times whatever the wind is. I have no special balls. I've got those I bought some 4 power balls for this account, so I had some bigger balls, but other than that, I really don't have anything special. So katana. Cut the wind down just a titch, and I've been using I'm trying to practice with a 2 power ball. And I need a rocket bag. Rocket bag. APOC. Rock extra mile. Seems like there is an APOC shot on this course. Maybe. Rocket. And my rocket is at 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 per ring, and I'm playing it at where it's at, which I think is at 1.5 per ring. Or it's at 1.3, it's at max club. So 1.3 with a 30% is basically 1 to 1. 1 to 1 with a 2 power ball. And yesterday, I think I ran over the top of the hole. Or I was just a little short, one of the two. I must have been a little short because I put a note on here to run my ball guide through the hole. All right, here we go. T-Roy goes first. Let's see if they're going to do the bounce to the bounce. I've seen some people, most people are doing bouncing over, but it's really important to watch where your second bounce is. Because if you hit that edge, there is no edge. You're either in the, if you hit the edge, you're in the drink. Thor's hammer will work. Thor's hammer 7 will work. Look at all the backspin that sucker has. Good ball guide too. Welcome to the Thor's Hammer 7. I don't think I'll ever get my Thor's Hammer to 7. I don't get those kind of... I've actually been getting apocalypses pretty often. Pretty often by like 4 times a month. 5 times a month. But I hardly ever see Thor's Hammer. I get it maybe once a month. Very rarely, even more rare than that, do I get hammerheads. Okay, there's Max. Gonna be about 4 rings. I'm gonna be on the left-hand edge of that cup. 3-6. I'm just gonna do 3-6 straight up. Just 3-6. Oh fuck! That was like 2 rings straight to the right. That was a solid every day 2 rings straight to the right. What was I thinking? That was so far off. I could, if I'd have thrown the ball out there, I probably could have got closer. In the hole. I don't like putts like that where you have to do them from the side. It wasn't that far away, but it seemed like it was a million miles. All right, hole number 3. What do we have for hole number 3? I literally cannot remember these holes. All right. And I was trying to get like down into this area and take this shot coming up. And I think I screwed up on this hole yesterday. I ended up in one of these sand traps, and from these sand traps, you can't recover. I might have been in... Yeah, I think I was in one of the front sand traps. I was in big trouble and didn't recover. So let's not have that happen again. I'm taking my number 1 bag. Number 1. One of those 4 power balls. Let's see if we can get ourselves out there. Hole number 3. And I was using, this is another one of those holes that a Power 5 with topspin boost would work really, really well. Because there's almost no end to the amount of distance that you'd like to be able to pick up. I don't know that I can get over there. Get out there. 2-1. Let's make sure we get any side wind out. It's 2.1 per ring. I'll probably get caught up in the rough down there at the bottom. And I'm not sure it would have been any better if I'd have been on the other side. It's a little steeper to the right, where you can may be able to roll out of the rough. The rough will help you out a little bit, and it's flatter on the left. Kind of where this crotch is right here in this area, it gets to a flat area. But I still don't think that you could make it. I don't even know if I'm in the first cut of the rough. I think if I am, I'm right there. I'm not sure I could make that. One of those topspin boost balls could get you down in that area though. If I would have brought out an APOC, that extra little bit of distance, that extra 3 yards could have made a difference. Maybe. I think I tried that yesterday and I did the same exact thing my opponent did. It wasn't quite enough and clipped that rough. All right. I'm at max club, so it's 2 per ring. It's 1, 3, 3. There's 2. There's 3. And a little bit. Oh, fucking, I hit it great to the left on that side as well. Arrgh! Just great to the left. I think if I hit it perfect, I'd have missed on the other side. I think I was like right, I think the club was in between, or the hole was in between the 2 shots. We'll never know. I don't know that getting up there any farther is going to get you any better. You're like, play it safe and get over to the other side and give yourself a shot at it. That's a good spot. It's either minimum short iron or like maximum wedge. Perfect. Somebody was asking on the channel about, I was playing some Tour 7. I filmed an hour at Tour 7. I think I played 1 Tour 2 or 3 so I could get my trophies back, and then I went to Tour 7. And I find that one-on-one opponents, like if you just go out there and play fairway to green, that the vast majority of the time they're doing stupid shit. When you start getting, the whole deal is when you start getting to Tour 8 and Tour 9, the deal is that people will play crazy up to Tour 7, and they can do stupid stuff and still end up getting away with it. Even with 7, 8, 9 mile an hour winds, it's still low enough wind that they can get away with it. But once they get to Tour 8 and Tour 9 and Tour 10, especially Tour 9 kind of separates the group. If you can make it past Tour 9, you got it made. You figured it out. But if you get to Tour 9, and that's the deal. And Tour 9 can be tough. It can be easy, and it can be tough. I don't think Oasis is in Tour 9 anymore, but Oasis is a tough course to play on a day-to-day basis. Hole number 4. And it used to be in Tour 9. Hole number 4. Okay, I'm doing the layup. I'm doing the rock and the Kingmaker, and I have no notes for the second shot. I do know that the second shot, if I don't bring out a 3-power ball, I'm going to have a red line issue if I want to use my Grizzly. If you want to use a Goliath, you can bring a 2-power ball and you should be fine. Plus 10 on the drive, plus 0 to the cup. And I think, let's see, I don't think I have any Kingmakers, so I'll have to use the King. I do have some Kingmakers. Look at that. Kingmakers, and I'm going to use my number 2 bag. Off we roll. Off we roll to hole number 4. So rock, Kingmaker, 4 top spin, plus 10 on the drive. One shot at a time. 100% accurate club, so whatever the wind is, plus 10%. So it's like a 275 wind. 4 top spin. Blue ring off. 275. Two and 3/4 rings. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. All right, I think there is a rough bump down here, and I got it with my Grizzly at Max Club, which I'm playing at. I know that I'm gonna play it different, so bear with me. I might play it at 1 per ring. I've been playing at 1 per ring, and I think I'm right on. Because I have a 3 Powerball, so it's 1 per ring. If it was like a 2 Powerball or a 1, I think it's 0.9 per ring. I play with, if you haven't watched my channel forever and a day, I have numbers. You can figure out the numbers for your clubs. You don't have to have the apps. But the apps give you sliders. They give you a bunch of tools that you can get by doing it by hand, but they give you some handy little math tools with people a lot smarter than me. I figured out. Okay, I'm at Max Club. Two. That's pretty close. 2-3 maybe. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. Let's see if we can get 1 to drop. Woo! In the hole. That's what I'm talking about right there. Love it when a plan comes together. 1 per ring. Let's make some notes. And I did +0 to the cup with that kind of win, so I know that the 3 side spin ball comes in really handy because I put on more side spin than I've been putting on, and I tried to move myself over to the left, or excuse me, to the right to get into this crotch area. And I'm not sure that I didn't put on, I really wanted to just put on max side spin to the left so that I could go as far as I could to the right. But I'm not sure that I did that. It was pretty close though. It had to be over 2 side spins, so it was like 2.5, maybe. Might have been more. I'll have to watch the video. That's the thing. You all just go back and go, dumbass, you did this. I have no idea what it did. I'm just playing. Good luck, Glenn. All right, hole number 5. What is hole number 5? Hole number 5. All right. What do I have for notes for hole number 5? Sniper, Quasar. I'm doing a rough bump. And I'm definitely trying to get into that crotch because I've taken the shot from the left where you're in the G string, and I'm not interested in doing that. I want to be as far to the left as possible. So I'm not sure that the side spin that I have written down here is the number. So I'm bringing a Quasar. I think the deal is I'm going to switch to a Katana. And unless I have a red line issue, I'm going to switch to that. So with head, if I have, let's see what kind of wind we got. Let's see what wind. Sniper. It's not going to tell me what kind of wind we have. But this right here will tell me what kind of wind we're going to have. I have a side wind. Let's play. Let's play it. This should be along the rough. So if you make a bad wind adjustment, it may not kill you. But in headwind, it pushed it back. I did a normal adjustment plus 10 and it pushed it back like a ring. So the numbers that it worked out to was like, it would be, I changed it to a 30 and I still think that that might not be enough if you have a headwind. It's really pushing it towards the sand. But I was in the real narrow part of the rough where I only had like a half a ring on either side. Pretty narrow. I think you have to be way up here at the top if you're trying to run it down. And then you can try and get your topspin to flatten out on this hill if you keep going to the left, or excuse me, the right. You can try and get it so that you're actually just kind of running up there and following the trough in. Look at how much movement's down there at the green. Tons. Nice. Close. Close. Okay, 5 backspin. Maybe. I want to be in this area right here is where I'd really like to be. I don't know if I can get the ball to go. Maybe. 4.5, 1.5. 2.2, 2.5, 3 rings. There's 2.5. Hitting it perfect. Now let's see where this bounces in the rough. And that wasn't bad. It was a little closer to the sand than I thought I was. And it came in a little bit more on the left. So I over pulled it. Let me make a note here, side wind. I did a plus 15 and that was a slight over pull on it, so I'm gonna do just a 0 next time. See if I come in on the other side of the cup. All right, where are we at? Hole number 6. Hole number 6, going through my notes, just trying to get my stuff. All right, if you have if you have a 5-power ball with the topspin boost, you can go this route right here and end up over here. But I'm going to go for this shot because I don't have any of those balls in this account. I think you can do it with a regular 5-power ball if you had tailwind. You can get over there, but it would be hard to judge because you want to hit that rough. If you end up in trouble down here, you can recover as long as it's not the drink. But I'm going to bring out a big topper. Big topper. Big topper. Talk about topspin. We'll switch this to a big topper. I want to bring a sniper. I'm pretty sure there's a sniper rough bump from out there, and I'm not sure what the numbers are on it as far as the shot going in. There might be a Grizzly one, but I don't think a Grizzly has enough topspin actually. Yeah, it's 50. It doesn't have I know the Nirvana doesn't have enough topspin, and it has like 60. I think it's a sniper shot. And we'll switch balls when we're out there. Hole number 6. Here we go. I know that rough bump is on a hill and we got to bring the ball to the right, so I'm not sure if side spin is really a factor, but I might want to rethink and bring a Kingmaker instead, so I've got side spin for the shot coming into the cup. Give me all my options. See how they had to pull that extra mile back from the red line? If you have to pull your extra mile back, he's at +8. So he's like 10 back from the max. And at that point right there with a 3-power ball is the same distance that you hit base with a big topper, and a big topper's got more topspin. So you'll actually net more yards with your big topper. If you were at your red line and you had an extra mile 9, you'd net more yards with your extra mile 9. Big topper. Switch balls to a Kingmaker. It's not the king of balls, but it is the Kingmaker. It's max. It's 2.1 per ring. It's the same as my extra mile, so it's about a ring and a half. Just try and hit it perfect. And I hit it 1 ring great to the left, which won't hurt me on this bounce, but it could catch me up in the rough on the other side. Because you're trying to thread that needle. 371. That should give me a really good angle on this rough bump that my opponent's at right here. And I'm just going to do a +0 to the cup. I want to see where I'm at. See if my opponent can hit it perfect. Hit 1 ring great. If they were going to hit it one way or the other, great, and it still go in, great to the left is good. Because when it comes off there, it's trying to go to the right. I think that would have been perfect. I think it was like where the cup was in between. Two 7. There's 2, 5, 6, 7. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I hit in the rough right. Ooh, I barely clipped the rough. Just barely clipped it. I should have pulled it more. The way the wind pushed it off, it was definitely pushed me towards that. What hole is this? Chopper. I'm going to do +10 to the cup. Close. Close. Close to epic fail. This is definitely around because they can make that wind so that if you don't know what your wind adjustment is and you pull it wrong and you miss the rough, you were screwed. There was a hole we played in a tournament here not too long ago that when the headwind was going, you had to do one thing, and when the tailwind was going, you had to do another because it was definitely affecting the ball. Hard. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. All right, this is another one of those holes that I'm trying to get as far up this gap, and you gotta, from where the flagpole is, if you draw a line to the trees, if you're on this side of the line, you got a clear shot. But if you get over here, especially if you get up in the front behind these trees, now you're screwed. So if you're going to be on the right-hand side, you want to be way back here so that you can try and bring it around. But I'm trying to get in this gap completely in front of the trees. We'll see if that's possible. We'll see if it's possible. I'm going to bring one of those 4-4-4s. Because that's what we got them for. And I'm trying to get as far as I possibly can, which is that club and that ball. Let's roll. There's an issue down here, depending on what, because like you can play this with a 5-power ball and you don't have to do any overpower because you're all the way up in the front. You don't want to have to do overpower because I think you can overshoot it with a 5-power ball. But with a 4-power ball, I think if you come down here, like, because it carries a long ways. So if you have tailwind, it carries a long ways on this drive to the first bounce. And you can overhit it. Like you can't look at it and go, hey, it's a 3-mile-an-hour wind and I'm going to take out just 3 miles an hour, and then that compensates because that won't always do it. Bradley goes first with a quasar. Curious to see how far that goes. They'll be able to get around the trees, but they don't have a straight up. Well, they do right there because that one tree, you can hit in between those trees. Those trees. Okay, 3-3. And I'm going to just take the wind out. Oh, the worst side to hit it on, too. The worst side. Now I have to make it. You can see how many rings I had down there. Even though I hit it great to the right, the bad part about hitting it great to the right is on the other side, because you're right up underneath of the trees. But it carried that far. I took the wind completely out, and I still had rings before I got to the water, and it took me out that far to get in the hole. Now I'm committed. Now I need to be committed. So I did a max overpower, and it took me 2 rings over, and over here it's only 1 ring, but it did carry me quite a ways farther than the 3-3. One 7. I'm going to take out the same amount of wind that I took out last time. I'm going to double that up. I'm going to take out 3. And I hit it in the same freaking spot. 2 rings great to the right. And I went from hitting from the right to the left. Or from the left to the right to the right to the left. Barely made it past it. All right, this is makeable. I've made this week several times. I'm doing the wind. Where am I at in my Hornet? I'm right at max club, so it's 3.33 rings. Being real quiet. There's 3. 3, 3. Hitting it perfect. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Saving birdie on a par 4. Jeez. Having to get the eagle to save my birdie. A beagle. Shot of the round. All right, stayed on track. I didn't drop any shots. Look at that. I had to recover. I need to take a breather here. All right, breather it over. Hole number 8. Jeez. Okay, there is not a rough bump here. There's 5 1/4 backspin and a sliver of side spin, and I can't remember which direction. Sniper, and I can't remember what ball I was using either. I'll use a katana. I think you don't have to have anything more than a quasar, but I will use a katana. We'll see how much side spin I need. If I don't need that much, I can switch. Here we go. Ray, right off the bat. Let's kick Ray's ass. Let's put the hurt on him. Let's go from having to recover to hole in one. Let's keep the momentum moving. And they're using a white ball. That's why they're coming at it with their APOC, with their driver. Rolling, it's rolling, rolling, rolling. Finally came to a stop. There we go. They're at 235. Nice to know. Extra mile. This is a rocket bag. And I didn't bring a rocket. I have a sniper written down here, and it's actually with that club, because there's my sniper. So if I want to take this, I'm going to have to take it with a driver. And I took my rock out, or I took my rocket out. .7. It's 2.43 rings. I'm going to snap it off. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get it in the hole. The unexpected rocket. Get in the hole. No, not even close. Farther away than my opponent down that hill. Didn't have enough oomph on it to get it up there. With that wind, I should have did a full adjustment. We've been playing this hole, and I did a regular adjustment. I added on some, and it got worse. So I actually took a little bit off right there, because that's the way it's been working the last few times I played this hole. But not today. Let's see if we can hang on to the one that we picked up. Uh-oh, I missed it. I missed it. We did not hang on to the one that I picked up. Look at that shit. Dropping one off the minimum score on a putt. Hole number 9. All right, now I have to redeem myself on hole number 9. Which way's the wind blowing? And we got favorable wind. All right, let's just go play it. I'm gonna play my number 1 bag with a with one of those Amazonian balls. See if we can get the bounces right. Man, it is raining outside. It is South Carolina raining in Oregon right now. For none of you that have been in the South, when it rains in the South during the thunderstorm season, the spring, early summer, when it rains in the South, you can walk outside with a bar of soap and take a shower. You better make it a quick one because it doesn't do that for very long, but when it rains there, it rains. You got to pull over. It's the real deal. All right, I'm trying to get into this zone where I'm in the fairway down there. We were playing against a little bit of headwind in the practice when we were practicing. I think you can get your bounces just right. If you got a little bit of headwind, you can get a bounce on that fairway so that you can clear the rough and end up in the fairway on the other side without getting in the sand. There's a small little needle that you can thread down there and get in that area. See if my opponent can get into it. And they're just trying to get onto that fairway. All right. Switch to an Amazonian ball. In my number 1 bag. And see what we can get. Like, see if we can get any bounces in the right spot. Two 7. Forward distance back on. See if we can thread that needle. Not with a 75,000. That was good. I don't even think that was great. I don't even know. I can't even believe it landed there. How lucky was that? If you can't be good, be lucky. You can see how much distance I would have got if I would have been over in the area where I could have tried to bleed out through this and come out. I think I've taken myself out of the rough bump and I have to go straight at it. And they're in their Nirvana, so that's basically long iron range. I'm a little bit inside of that, so I may not be at max club. All right, we need to do the Happy Gilmore thing here. We need to be like, if you can't make putts, just, you know, it's a whole lot easier to make putts when you don't have to take them. I'm in short iron range. Fan-freaking-tastic. Two, 4. I am way in the hell downhill. Three rings. Hitting it perfect. That was a plus 30%. And just a little bit outside. Didn't have my speed quite right. And I slightly over pulled it from where it landed. It was way the hell downhill. So 2, 4 times 3, that'd be 6, 7, 2. So that was a little less than 30%. That would have been 3-1 if I'd have did a 30 full 30, so it was closer to 25. Eagle. All right. I ended up with just the minimum score. I dropped the shot. Look at that. That's been my tale the last 3 tournaments, is I haven't been able to play minimum score. You can't worry about trying to get up to the top of the bracket if you can't play minimum score. All right, I got some good notes now. And the good news is that at least I only missed a putt. All right, minus 14 at the top. As the week goes on, I mean, 28s to 30. I think in most brackets, that's what we need to be shooting for as far as like weekend round. 30 to kind of stand apart, but you're going to have to be in the 28 range in order to be in the conversation. Nice round. Nice round. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay safe. And I'll see if I can get a hold of Dunner, and Dunner and I can play around tomorrow. I've got my 77 account. We can't get matched up when I play odd. So we'll hopefully get matched up tomorrow. Thanks for watching.